everybody, it's Natalie again. Um, Today I'm actually in a different room. Look at that, I'm in the kitchen now instead of my study room. And look, those are some of my paintings. Well, not the zebra I bought, but the horse and the flower are my paintings. Anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about things that have always worked for me for comforting, for therapy, and stuff like that, which is stuffed animals for me. Now, full disclaimer, not everyone's needs are stuffed animals. I recognize that. But I'm just going to be talking about this from my perspective and what helps me. Okay. So, ever since I outgrew the stuffed animal phase, I was so embarrassed that I needed stuffed animals to sleep with them, to function, that sort of thing. But then later in life, I realized there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just my quirk. Well, it's probably also because of my autism, but my point is, I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'm very open with the fact that I like stuffed animals now. In fact, I carry around a stuffed animal. This one. This is my sweet service stuffed animal, Cole. He goes with me everywhere. Even sometimes I carry him in stores, I carry him everywhere at school. I call him my service animal because I call him emotional support animal because even though he's not alive, he's very comforting to me. He's therapeutic. He always helps me stay calm in the scariest situations. Like if I'm picking my nails or something to deal with my nerves, I just remind myself, pet Cole. Or if I need a reality reminder, I pet him. If I'm nervous about something, I pet him. If I'm sitting in the car and I can't sit still and I'm fidgeting with my hands and picking my nails, like I said, I always pick my nails, then I will use Cole. He's wonderful. He's good for everything except for sleeping, which I will get to that. This is the bear I slept with last night, Star Kelly. I have a lot of Build-A-Bears, and Cole is a Build-A-Bear, basically. So I love Build-A-Bear. I love shopping there. I love their bears. It's so much fun. I may have too many, but I don't really care. Who cares if everyone thinks I have too many? It's not really a big deal to me. So anyway, I have a lot of bears that I sleep with. In order to make it fair for the bears, I have a rotation to make sure I sleep with all my bears. Now, there's a couple I don't really like sleeping with as much. Like, I love my Spider-Man bear. He's really cute, but he's not the best for sleeping because he's a bit too hard. Like, I like firm stuffed animals. They feel really nice, too. They're good for hugging. But some of them, like my Spider-Man bear, are not great. For hugging, so they're on display, or I just kind of play with them or something. But I'm not going to sleep with some of them as much as to sleep with others. But I do have a system. Like Star Kelly's first, then my Clara bear, then my Woody bear, then my Captain Marvel bear, Arwen bear. Then you have Sabrina, Anna, Elsa. This might not be in order, I can't remember. Alexa, Ahsoka, and Ezra. That's 11 I sleep with. That's how many bears I have, but that's the system I created. Each bear I sleep with a night, and then I move on to the next bear. I'm very fair person. I like to be fair to everything, even things that aren't really alive. Sometimes the animation gets the better of me, and I forget that they aren't alive, but that doesn't happen too often. But anyway, I always sleep with them. Bears, some nights if I forget my bear, I can't really sleep. I panic, or I don't sleep well, or my anxiety, I try to hug myself or something. It doesn't really help. I need that bear to hold. My bears have always been comforting and relaxing. They always help me go to sleep, or if I'm watching TV or something, they're really good for hugging, like I said. So if I'm watching TV and I need to give something a big squeeze, I'll just hug my stuffed animal really tight. Or if I'm in the car and I don't feel like petting Cole, I use my bears. I just hold on to that bear in one hand and Cole in my other arm, and that's the way I travel in the car. Now, I usually don't bring the bears with me everywhere like I do with Cole. I usually just keep the bears in the car for hugging and then take Cole with me. Or sometimes I just stick the bear in my backpack so I can have both, so I don't have to deal with that. So I find I am centered more when I'm holding on to bears or I'm petting Cole. Centering, I think, is a very important thing. You're more in touch with reality, or you feel like your mind is concentrated or something like that. Instead of being a distraction, Cole has always been what helps me focus, or it calms me down, or brings me back to where I need to be. Like in class, if I don't have Cole, I have more trouble paying attention than if I didn't have him, which seems kind of the opposite of what it should be. You would think he'd be a distraction, but he isn't. Now, another thing is that my bears and Cole also help with my anxiety, especially during my anxiety attacks, which usually result in my sensory issues, which I'll get to in a future video. But they really help with my anxiety attacks by recentering me. I love to do stuff with my hands, so just petting Cole or hugging a bear just can help my anxiety calm down. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it's a lot harder. Sometimes I have to play music, sometimes I have to play music too, but that still helps. Petting a stuffed animal has always worked for me. Now, you may have a different thing that works for you. Like, what if you like dolls and you just want to hold on to your doll? And people say you've outgrown the age where you should love dolls. Who cares what they think? Who cares what the neurotypicals do? If you need a doll and you have a disability, take the doll with you. Use the doll. I've stopped caring about what people think about my disability because, well, of course I still want to help people with it, but I don't really care if people judge me for having a stuffed animal. I haven't met that many people who would. It's just an unbased fear that's not really based in reality, but it's still a fear that people will judge me or something. Now, if there's a really mean person, they probably would judge me, but I don't know that many mean people. So another thing I want to talk about is autistic people don't outgrow things as quickly as a neurotypical. Like I said, I didn't outgrow stuffed animals, but things that appear childish to neurotypicals may be sacred to an autistic person. Sacred, calming, relaxing. That's what stuffed animals are for me. Now, for neurotypical, it may seem childish to have to sleep with a stuffed animal, but I am also autistic. I may be an adult, but I also am autistic, so I need stuffed animals. I don't care what anyone thinks about that. And I love to create personalities and stories for my stuffed animals. Like, for instance, two of my bears, Clara and Woody, actually got married. I had this big ceremony. I got them outfits for them to get married in, like her dress and veil and flowers. Got him my parents bought me an outfit. But, so I did all that. I even made the muffins for us to eat in celebration of the wedding. The kids next door came over. It was a really good time. So I don't think you're ever too old for imagination. If you want to imagine toys for your dolls or your bears or something like that, or your toys, who cares what people think? You are never too old for that. And the point of this is to say those things are comforting. Remember, find what comforts you. It will bring so much relief, so much joy if you find something that works for you. Now, stuffed animals may work for me, but they may not work for you. But find it. Another application I'd like to give is, if you're a parent, respect your child's need. If you think they are too old for something, or you say it's for kids, then you're just putting your child down. I know If you do that, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to help your child. By doing that, you're hurting them. I realized that that every that what we need isn't just as important, is more important than what the world needs or thinks. So if you are at a loss with what works for you, you don't find a therapeutic thing, try stuffed animals. They work for me. But also dolls can hurt, playing with blocks. I know drawing works for a lot of people. Designing things, like pretending you're building, like if you love architecture and you want to design a building, that can be comforting to you. Or building the building you design with blocks, that can also be very good. Things like that are very important for an autistic person to have, because they're comforting them during anxiety, comforting them when they're having sensory issues, stuff like that. Having something to center them and calm them, it should be the most important thing to you as a parent, or if you are an autistic person, find that thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, hit the subscribe button. If you want to comment, do that too. I may do a live stream soon. But see you soon. Bye.